Hi. So today's video will be on a RYOBI 40cc chainsaw, and this is it here. I'm going to zoom in and you can see the specs and the stuff on it. So this is a RY53. The model number is a RY10532. Now, if you look this up on all of the popular websites that sell parts for these, you'll notice that it's an older saw. It was quite decent. There's a lot of people that liked it, and if you look on the parts diagrams, you see that a lot of the parts are no longer available for it. This is I don't think I've ever seen a chainsaw case like that. I guess RYOBI being a tool company tool, they probably modded just the end plate on this. This was probably used for a lot of different tools, this particular case, and then they modded it so that you could fit a chainsaw in it. So I got this from a local guy, and he basically literally gave it to me for free because it had some stuff that it needed to be done. For some reason I can't open the lid for you here. What is going on? So you can look here. It's nice and clean. It still has all the instructions on the case. As you can see, it's all clean inside. So this is the case for it. So that you got to flip out this door here to flip out this door in order to raise the bar with this bar shield on it. So it's interesting. I've never seen one like that. So this is a 18-inch bar and what they call a 3/8-inch pitch chain. Typical bar, you can still get all this. You can still get bars and chain for it because a lot of these brands like Homelight use the same bar and chain, and Oregon and all those brands still make chains and bars for it. Now, when I got this, it wouldn't start. The gentleman said he used it a few days before, and what ended up happening that would make it not start anymore was the primer bulb got a crack on it. Well, I put a new primer bulb in it, and I figured, boom, I'll have a good deal here. I cleaned it up a bit and put a new primer bulb in it, and tensioned the chain properly. He says he put a new chain on it, but it was sloppy and loose. Well, when I went to tension the chain properly, I noticed why he had it so loose. And I'll show you here. So this is the reason why he had the chain so loose. If you tension a chain on a chainsaw where the clutch drum is this bad, see how badly grooved it is? You're going to have problems. Your chain is going to be all springy, and it'll have a lot of resistance when you turn it, because look at those teeth, they are just gone. Now this is where I got to on the parts diagram, and I'm like, uh-oh, I guess that's why my deal isn't such a good deal, because this is one of the parts that no longer shows available on the parts diagrams. The clutch is no longer available. The drum, this is just the drum for it. I'll show you the clutch for it. Here is the clutch, is no longer available, and the drum part is no longer available. Now, I've been in this business for a while, so knowing that this brand was probably marketing a saw that Homelight made and was marketing under numerous other brands, there's probably other brands, but I looked for those two, and those two were. So every model that Homelight built, this chainsaw, this particular, this RY10532 RYOBI, was also marketed as a RedMax GZ400. Homelight had a model, Poolin had a model. There was like 5 different brands I saw. But on all their diagrams of this particular model by Homelight, this clutch is no longer available. Now I'm going to show you something. So I'm like, knowing these guys, they probably didn't invent this clutch just for a single model of chainsaw, right? I mean, my clutch is good. All I need is a drum. So I get looking. I look up other models of 18-inch bar RYOBI chainsaws, and I come up with a RY3818. I think it was a 3818 RYOBI. 3818, I guess 38 cc's and 18-inch bar. And I look up its clutch, and its clutch looks identical to this one. Just from the pictures, their clutch looks identical. even though it's got a different part number, everything looks the same. So I took a chance and I ordered a drum for a RYOBI 3818. And guess what? The bad boy looks identical. Every part of it is identical. I held them up to each other every which way. The diameter is all the same. It's even ribbed on the edge. The teeth. So I'll put a link in the description. If you have a RYOBI RY10532 chainsaw and you need a new clutch or clutch drum for it, I'll put a link in the description, and this will get you going. So that's my video for today. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this reassembled, and we'll take her out to some fallen timber and we'll see how she cuts. I'm excited to see how this works. It starts and runs like a top. So all we needed was that clutch drum and this primer bulb. So, and that's it for today. Thank you. Rain is starting to beat down here on the roof. And so we're going to go ahead and put the bar on. We got everything reassembled. We took the rope out of the spark plug hole because we had to remount the clutch. Look at that. That is an obsolete clutch that you can no longer get. The drum is off of a different model with a complete different part number. You can still get it, but the diagrams for this model saw say that this is no longer available. This is a clutch off of a different model of RYOBI saw that Homelight made. That is the exact same clutch, but a different part number. I'll put the link in the description. But before we put this guy on here, we got to lube the tip of the saw because I have no idea if it's been lubed in the past. We put a new chain on it. And we just got a new grease gun here. This is Oregon Push and Lube, it's called. It's made in Germany. I'll put a link for that in the description for that too. That is Oregon part number 26365. And that's what you need to lube the bearings on the tip of your chainsaw. So I already blew this out with an air hose. Just going to go ahead and lube it. So how you do it is you put it on, just put it on the hole, and pour on the hole and press, and it just squeeze some grease in there. There we go. Oh, people were talking about how they were breaking this. I don't know how you would break it. Squeeze a bit and then turn the bearing, and then do it again. And we'll do it on both sides. Squeeze in a bit and then turn it. I think we're good on this side. We'll turn it over. So, yeah, when I was fixing up the saw that I grabbed from some local guy, sold it to me for 20 bucks. Told me that all that he's aware of that it needs is that primer ball. He didn't tell me that the clutch is all junk. He put a new chain on it, and I don't think he could properly tighten the chain, because as soon as I tightened the chain properly, it got all tight. It wouldn't turn anymore. That's why I had the chain so loose. So it needed more than the primer bulb. So yeah, if you're using chainsaws like this, any of the consumer style, they'll use a push and lube type gun to lube them up. And I'm just using this Oregon here. I just got this. See, I have steel chainsaws, and steels don't use this on the tip of the saw, but looks like RYOBI and those guys do. So, and that's that.